You are probably viewing your losses completely wrong and you think every loss is a failure. But let me tell you one thing, it is completely different. Today I'm gonna go deep down on losses and I'm gonna explain what is a loss, the different type of losses, how your brain works when you take a loss, and how you can treat a loss differently so you're gonna become profitable and actually improve on your emotions. I got a whole whiteboard right here and I'm gonna go out and explain every single mode, every single solution, everything that you need to do, and everything. I'm gonna show you everything that you're probably doing. I was doing the exact same thing until I understood how you should and can view losses in order to benefit from them instead of crashing out and blowing your accounts. So first thing you gotta realize that losses are not a failure. Okay, you gotta see a loss as a business expense. Let's say you pay for a eval, okay, $60, $70 with Alpha Futures, code Milo by the way, and you get your eval, you lose everything, you lose like 4 trades, let's say, you journal everything, but you shouldn't see it as a failure. Oh, I lost money. No, you paid those $70 for the eval in order to learn something. So it was just a business expense. See it like a college tuition. For college, you also paid a lot of money until and you don't even make money. So it is all right. See it as a cost in order to progress and learn. And you got to realize that, first of all, not like there's no single strategy that's gonna have a 100% win rate and 0% drawdown. Maybe if you're bottom ticking, you're gonna have less drawdown than someone who's trading continuations. But you're always gonna lose. You gotta keep it in the back of your head. Always come into the day with the mindset: my strategy has not a 100% win rate, and I will lose most likely. And guys, if you are trying to do trading for the rest of your life, which you are probably gonna do, why do you let one trade determine your skill level? I am doing the same thing right now, but I'm slowly realizing what to do and how to do it better. One trade does not determine everything. You gotta scale up, go on a higher time frame, and just look on basically on a month-to-month basis. If you took let's say you took two losses in 1 week, and you're crashing out because 2 losses 1 week, oh, one red week, but you don't know. Maybe the rest or the other 3 weeks will be green, and at the end of the month, you're gonna be green anyways. And you gotta view it like that. Higher time frame, zoom out. And also, outcomes do not define your execution. What do I mean by that? If your execution was literally perfect, you cannot control the outcome because Trump can tweet, you can lose a trade. Your trade has not a 100% win rate. Boom. It has also drawdown, not 100% win rate. You can still lose on the most A plus perfect, even if you did everything wrong. You got your setup, risk management was on point, TP on point, break even on point, stop loss on point, everything. But it doesn't guarantee you a win. And through execution, you cannot guarantee an outcome. So just focus on the execution instead of a win. Then there are 2 types of losses, okay? So there's a loss which is an uncontrolled loss. Let's say you take a loss because you broke your rules, you FOMOed into something, emotional entry, or you were bored and you didn't want to wait, okay? You didn't want to wait, you just took something, or you just sized up too heavy. Let's say you took a loss prior and then you're taking another trade, oversizing position, taking a loss. It is also an uncontrolled loss because you didn't see any clear invalid. Like if you see any of these patterns repeating while taking losses, you don't have any clear invalidation for your trade. Like there's no clear validation and invalidation point in order to take a trade. And this right here, if those things happen to you and you take a loss, it is an uncontrolled loss. And those losses, those type of losses needs fix. They need to be fixed. But there are other losses that I was just talking about. Boom. If you remember, outcomes don't define execution. There's a well executed loss. If you followed your plan, perfect size, entry made completely sense. There was a validation point or invalidation of something. That's what I'm talking about price action. Entry made sense. Your stop is protected and it is in a spot that just makes sense. If you go into there, yo, price is most likely gonna continue in that way, and your stop just simply makes sense, right? And if you were expecting the loss, it's a good loss because you cannot come into the market and actually like think, yo, I'm gonna win today. I'm gonna win today. If you don't expect a loss, it is still a bad loss. If any of those losses happen because of those reasons, boom, follow plan, blah blah blah, and if you follow all of this and you still lose, it is fine, bro. It is fine, and you can call it a statistical loss, but you can maybe still learn something from it. So always over journal. And there has come the decision point. let's say one trader takes this type of loss and the other trader takes this type of, let's say, trade, okay? And then the decision point, when the trade gets stopped out. You get stopped out, boom. There are only three paths that can actually happen. You go into the reactive mode, suppression mode, or the professional mode. First of all, let's talk about those two. Reactive mode. You react immediately, boom, emotional. Exact same thing as right here. Uncontrolled. You're becoming uncontrolled and you are trying to act from your impulses. Your impulses are controlling you. So you jump right back in with double the size to make all of it back because you are focusing on the P&L. You see red at the top. You see minus $500 and you're so zoomed in on the P&L that you want to just jump back in, make everything back, and you ignore the whole chart, the price action. Like your entry does not make any sense. You're in the reactive mode, so you react based on your brain impulses and you jump right back in and you're gonna lose. Trust me, you're gonna lose. And that leads to mental fatigue, bro. We all know how it ended up. Like, we all went through this. Everyone, every single one who trades went through the exact same shit where they went into reactive mode after getting stopped out, then jump back in with double the size because they wanted to make everything bad without any entry, like any chart, I would say, without their system presenting. And then, boom, loss. Your confidence goes down the drain. You make even more mistakes because you're stuck in this loop cycle. Your mentality is completely fucked. You are tired. You think to yourself, bro, is this even gonna work out? Why am I doing this to myself? Like, why did I do this? And it just kind of fucks up your psychology. But there's also a suppression mode. It is not that good as well. Because if you take a loss and you go into suppression mode, that's what I'm going through right now, and I gotta fix that. It is this thing right here. I trade, okay, but carefully. You are hesitating every single candle move, candle wick, everything, SMT, tiny SMT, even though higher time frame narrative is perfect. Volume is there, displacement is there, drawn liquidity is there. But you see a tiny wick going down, you're not taking, you're hesitating, and you're waiting for more confirmation. You're second guessing. Yo, am I right? Am I right? Let me wait for more confirmation, so I'm gonna be 100% sure. Then price pumps without you in the direction, and you're simply mad, want to FOMO in, and all of those emotions come into place, and there's a bigger chance that you take another uncontrolled loss. And 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 fear controls your execution. Same shit for me. You're afraid to enter because you first of all don't want to lose your confidence. You don't want to just lose your P&L, whatever. You don't want to think that you're a bad trader. You don't want to make a mistake. And this is not good as well because you're gonna miss out on really, really good opportunities, really good trades. Same shit that I'm going through right now. And you're gonna get inconsistent results. And you think to yourself, yo, you're gonna FOMO. You're gonna FOMO into a trade if you stay in this suppression mode. And then you think, yo, I'm not getting any winning trades, inconsistent results because you're like hesitating. And then when I take a trade, I'm losing. I think my strategy doesn't work. Boom, let me switch the strategy. Another loop cycle, like complete cycle. You go back, you start a new strategy, same thing. Sometimes you're simply gonna, like, there's no way you're not gonna go through an uncontrolled loss, even if you are profitable. You're gonna get stopped out, you go into suppression mode, same shit happening, cycle. You gotta get out of this right here by just simply entering your position, setting yourself a specific criteria, and just entering if you're in the suppression mode when everything makes sense. If you ask yourself, would I bet 20k on this trade, on this drawn liquidity? If the answer is yes, just entry. If it just makes sense, perfect. And then there's the pretty much perfect mode, professional mode, how professional traders trade. Trade gets stopped out, what you're gonna do? Step away. Simply close the laptop, turn off the PC, step away. That's it. Accept everything that comes to you. This happened for a reason. Either it was your mistake, you read the price wrong, you were emotionally, whatever happens, happens. Accept the outcome, how it comes to you, and don't re-enter one trade a day, one limit lockout with Project X, whatever. Just hop off, close the charts, and trust me, review executions after you calm down. Maybe go for a walk if it helps you, because it helps me. If I take a loss, just 10-minute walk outside and then eat something, maybe play something. For example, for me, I just post content and then at the end, before I go to bed, I just review the markets once again. I journal everything and I learn from that. Simple as that. Boom, boom, boom. One trade, done for the day. Easy as that. No re-entries, nothing else. And what is this gonna do? You are gonna have mental clarity. You're simply gonna be, first of all, you're gonna be proud of yourself that you controlled yourself. Your account will survive much longer, so you'll see more consistency, and you're probably gonna get a payout. And also, you're gonna be, if you followed your statistics, your model, as I told you, there are gonna be losses. At the end of the day, if you keep taking those good trades, where everything is aligned, and you step away after a loss, accept everything, no re-entries, over the long period of time, you're gonna take more wins or make more money, and long-term edge is gonna be protected. So, what is actually happening in your brain when you take a loss? Like the brain trap. Why revenge trading feels logical, but it isn't. And it's not your fault. It is our brain. Because when you take a loss, it triggers urgency in your brain. Your dopamine crushes, bro. It just goes below the baseline. It crushes to zero, and then your brain wants relief. You want to get that dopamine back. You want to just, bro, why am I using this? You want to get back into the trade because you want to see green numbers. You want to win the trade, get this dopamine back up, and the only way is just to re-entry a trade. And then this short-term thinking, those impulses override that are so strong. It's like lust, bro. You cannot do anything about it. Then just physically walk away, take a shower, go for a walk, because those impulses will override your main plan. And as I told you, this leads to a dopamine crash. Brain wants to fix that, and dopamine, a chemical compound, is just stronger than discipline, and you gotta accept it. The brain is built like this, but only thing that you can do is simply click on your mouse, close the chart, and that's it. Because your brain wants the pain gone. We always seek comfort, and it is not comfortable. It is painful to take a loss. We all know that. But you gotta realize, guys, that losses disappear over time. So if you take a loss and you walk away, it is fine because this loss is gonna be gone in a few weeks. Those losses disappear. But if you jump right back in, build those bad habits, trust me, they are gonna compound faster than bad trades. Let's say you took a complete shitty trade, and instead of just walking away and accepting that you did something wrong, you're hopping back in, revenge trading, doubling size. It just does make sense to jump back in because bad habits are so much worse than just losses, even if it's a really, really bad trade. And as I already told you at the start, you're gonna turn your loss into like a business expense or an asset. Every single time when you look at your journal, just look, what patterns can I see? What did I do after the trade? What did I do before the trade? How did I feel before the trade? After the trade? How did I manage it? What did I do right? What did I do wrong? After a long amount of time, you're gonna see, yo, wait. Every single time that I lose, I'm doing this and that. So let me remove this. Every single time that I win, I'm doing this. So I'm gonna keep doing that. You gotta see a loss like that. And just remember that execution is so much more important than your outcome. Because what separates profitable traders from unprofitable ones? You are not trading like a robot. It is wrong, bro. Every single time you see someone online, trade like a robot, trade like a robot. You don't feel emotions. Wrong. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna feel emotions, and because you can't trade like a robot, you're gonna crash out eventually. It just leads to worse performance. You gotta have emotional control. That's it. Trust me on that. Every profitable trader, every unprofitable trader, they feel the exact same emotions when they win big or when they lose big. The difference is just, can you control your emotions? If you lose, of course you're gonna have FOMO. You want to revenge trade. But can you click the button and close the chart, lock yourself out for the day, and just don't do anything? A profitable trader can, an unprofitable cannot. And it's simple as that. You gotta have patience after you take losses. Don't jump back in. Just wait for another good setup. You're gonna make it back. Just trust your probability. Just trust your statistic. Because if you have statistics, you're just gonna see a loss as something normal. Because if your win rate's higher, your risk reward is higher, you're gonna make it back and you're following the statistic. Because trading is simply gambling with an edge. And what I mean by edge, you're gambling with higher statistics for you. Like it's not like a 50-50 roulette. If you got a good strategy, it's like an 80-20. So trust the percentage. And like I already told you several times, detach from single outcomes. Stop looking at losses like there are I don't know, like it's World War III. Just zoom out, look at the higher time frame, and if you took a loss, just ask yourself, was it was it a uncontrolled loss because of those things, or was it a well executed loss and my execution was on point, just the outcome wasn't the greatest? Simple as that. If you apply all those things, if you understand all of those things, trust me, taking losses will be so much easier and trading will be so much less stressful. I could help you guys. Bro, I cannot speak. But whatever. I wish you a nice day and I hope you learned something. We see us in the next one. Bye bye.